Hi everybody, I'm Tim Bulot and welcome to WeaponsAcademy.com. So we've been off the grid for about 3 weeks, literally on a backcountry expedition, and we'll have some exciting video from that coming up. But for now, we're going to talk about vehicle situations and vehicle tactics. Before we left for our trip, we conducted a one-day class on vehicle tactics. And we went over some of the reasons and the thoughts behind the class, and this is something that I've put a lot of years of development into based on a lot of my own experience. So whether it's, you're in the security field, whether you're in law enforcement, military, overseas operator, whatever the case, or just everyday life. I mean, watch the news, look at current events, and you see several situations that have recently occurred in which civilians have been attacked while they're in their vehicles. I mean, face it, we spend a lot of our hours of our lifetimes in vehicles, so if there is a self-defense situation, the odds are somewhat high that you may be in a vehicle when the situation goes down. Now, before you get into it, you need to be aware of your state and your local laws on carrying firearms in vehicles. In some vehicles, in some states, it's allowed. You can carry a weapon in your vehicle just as if it were your home, and in some states it's not. So we're in Texas, so we're kind of coming at you from that perspective, but nevertheless you need to be very well versed in self-defense laws and vehicle carry laws for your area as well. Okay, now we're going to take a look at a short clip from the course, and in this particular video clip I'm going to be discussing the use of vehicle for cover. Now, this is only a slice of the information in which we put out in the course, but it's going to kind of give you an idea of where we go with this and what kind of information you would receive and benefit from taking a course like this. So let's get into it with vehicle situations and tactics. Okay, first off, does everybody see the arrow on the hood right there? Okay, that's just kind of a guide to kind of help us with vehicle positioning towards the threat. So with that that yellow target kind of being in the center of my threat zone, I've got the vehicle aligned basically almost at a 45-degree angle. Now, from this position right here, okay, just with the vehicle structure, the angle gives me the position of the vehicle gives me an angle of deflection for the rounds coming in. But what kind of components of the vehicle do I have between myself and the threat standing here? What all do I have here? Most obviously you got the engine. What's in front of the engine? Radiator, bumper, that sort of stuff. Okay, so I've got that. Okay, I've got double and quadruple walled pieces of metal right here. What's protecting my feet and my legs down here? Tires. Okay, not just the tires, the wheel assemblies. You got the brake assemblies, the drum, etc., etc. Axles. Okay, transmission is right in here. But you can see that this tire is protecting this lower leg, or this tire in wheel assembly, I should say. This one is protecting this one. I've got all this between me, and I can raise and lower my height however I need to raise and lower my height. Does that make sense? Yes. So actually I've taken this vehicle and I do have some pretty good cover towards the threat. Okay, now there's always a danger of rounds coming in from underneath or rounds hitting that hood and kind of deflecting towards me, and there's not anything you're ever going to be able to do with that. I mean, but I can get shot just as easy back there as I can up here. Okay, now other things to think about: the closer I am into the vehicle, the less I can see around the sides, whereas as I back up, I have, if my threat went mobile, okay, I've got more zone to in which I can scan and look for the threat. So is the vehicle any more or less cover if I'm standing back here than if I'm standing right here? No, it's all the same. Okay, further back you may be less prone to some deflections and things of that nature, but I'm not going to base my entire strategy about what may happen. Okay, I've got to kind of go with what's going on and what's realistic. Okay, if I'm kind of in command of this situation and I want to deal with it from right here, I deal with it from right here. For whatever reason causes me to back up, okay, I need to check my environment a little bit better and so forth. Or if I want to move around the vehicle, I may want to back up first and then before I move over to this side, etc. So I get that same benefit from back here also. Okay, so back at this angle, I've got this tire and wheel, axle, differential, bumper, just the multiple layers of sheet metal from the vehicle. It all helps. Even this glass will take something off of some rounds, okay? 223 and some pistol rounds will get, you know, a lot of deflection and a lot of spalling and stuff off of it, but there it'll degrade those rounds quite a bit. But if I move in to actually shoot from here, okay, I can use the maximum of this vehicle to protect me. Is that making sense? Okay, so those are the things that we want to think about when we do this, okay? So the obvious position is if we're just a one-person crew, okay, is I bail out and I shoot from the driver's position here, all right? Now, prior to bailout, this shooting through the glass, and I'm gonna talk to you about that on a different section here. Okay, we actually have some auto glass we shoot from time to time, and I'll talk to you about that. So let's go ahead and get them on, eyes and ears. Okay, so there you have it. Just a small clip, just a small slice of the information that we put out in this class. But then again, I hope you got something out of it in respect to how you might want to position your vehicle and working around a vehicle if you find yourself in one of these situations. There's a lot of dynamics involved in this, numerous situations and scenarios that could occur, but this is only a small piece of information. So just, you know, keep it in perspective as you go. So remember, if you're not training, you ought to be, and if you're not training at Weapons Academy, come check us out and see what we're doing. So you guys stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you on the next one.